Hey guys, what is up? Andrew coming at you. And today's video, we're gonna talk about my experience running in Sweden. But you're gonna have to keep up. It's all coming up. Running is a lot of fun in Sweden and it's engraved in life. I think it starts at a young age and you get to move forward. Most cities in Sweden happen to have like an area where there's a 5K or a 10K path that you can walk in the woods or that you can go run. So trail running is really, really cool. I just want to talk about a couple notable races, and that would be first of all the Stockholm Marathon. I've had the pleasure of running the Stockholm Marathon 2 years. An interesting thing about this race is that it's 2 loops through the city, so you do 1 loop and then a second loop, so part of it's the same. And I would think that I wouldn't like this at first because when I ran the Pittsburgh Marathon, I liked that everything was different. However, the second time running it was kind of nice because now that I know that it repeats, you get to see some of the same familiar stuff again, and you know kind of what to expect. The only bad part about this race was that they had this like bridge, runway bridge or whatever they called it for the Stockholm Marathon, and that was not so fun to have to run up. So that's one thing I didn't enjoy. However, it's a nice race. Another popular race, I haven't run it yet though, is the race in Gothenburg. I think it's a half marathon. Well, I mean, it is a half marathon. But if I'm wrong, I could be wrong here, but I think it's the most popular half marathon in Europe. I could be wrong, someone can correct me on that, but it's one that's on my schedule this year that I really like to do. Another race that is very, very popular has to be Lidingöloppet. I think I said it okay or kind of right. And that would be a 30-kilometer race in Stockholm. But I think this one is the largest cross-country race in the world, actually. And I want to run it, but I'm unfortunately a little bit injured right now. I'm able to run, but I think doing a 30K run is just going to be too much on my body, so I'm not going to be able to run this race. But it's definitely on my list of things to do. However, one final thing that I'll say about running in Sweden has to be, I always say it wrong, so you just have to take my bad Swedish here, but Lidingöloppet, it's like the blood run. That's a series of races that are around Sweden, and I enjoyed this race a lot because it's almost like, makes you feel like the start of summer, because the race happens in May, and then that's when, not too long after, people start to go on breaks. The weather's quite nice. It's a 5K and a 10K, at least in my city personally, and it's definitely a race that I look forward to very much. A lot of companies and work groups do it. A lot of community groups do it. It's a very fun race, and it's also a walk. What I like about these activities in general and why I like running in Sweden is because it usually doesn't get too hot in Sweden, which is a huge benefit if you're a runner. And the other thing is, at least the part of Sweden I'm in, there really aren't too many hills. Besides that one I did in Stockholm, most areas where I run here, it's very, very flat. That can be a good and a bad thing, but that means that you can run really good times if you're running certain races. One last race I've done is called the Kanalloppet, and it's a race along a canal. It's a half marathon, and it's a fantastic race to do as well. So running in Sweden has a special place in my heart because I really enjoy that activity. I think it's a nice one to get into in Sweden. I'm hoping at some point, I've never really been into skiing, but I want to try cross-country skiing at a certain point because it just seems like such a fun activity. So I just thought I'd share this with you. If you like this video, please give me a like. If you're new to the channel, would love to have you hit subscribe. And what is your experience in running in Sweden? And what are some races that you can recommend if you've done them? Please put that in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.